Hello friends, welcome back to the lecture series for the subject Engineering Mechanics. Up till now we have covered 4 units based on analysis of rigid bodies when the body is at the rest. Now the next videos are based on the analysis of rigid bodies when it is in motion, that is nothing but the dynamics. Now in today's video we see the study of kinematics of particle. Content of this unit are kinematics of rectilinear motion, motion under gravity, motion curves, relative motion, kinematics of curvilinear motion, projectile motion, path and polar coordinates. Now whenever we study the dynamics, that is the study of a body when it is in motion condition, that will be divided into two main things, the kinematics and kinetics. Kinematics is the study of body without considering the mass of the object, and kinetics is the study of body considering their mass. Now when we start this kinematics of rectilinear motion, the kinematics of particle means study of motion of particle, that is geometry of motion, velocity and acceleration without consideration or reference to the cause of motion. Means whatever the number of parameters related to the motion, that is nothing but its velocity, its acceleration, the geometry, then the type of motion, all these different things when we are studied without consideration of reference to the cause of motion, that type of we called it as a kinematics. Now let's see the different types of motion. The first type of motion is absolute and relative motion. When the motion is being described or studied with a fixed reference, it is called as an absolute motion, and when the motion is studied with a moving reference, it is called as an relative motion. Means whenever we are discussing or whenever we are defining the motion of any object with reference to some fixed reference or fixed object, that type of motion is called as an absolute motion. And whenever we studied the motion of any object with respect to some another moving object, then it is called as a relative motion. For example, if a car is moving, then if we are defining a car is moving with a speed of 60 meter per second, it means the motion of the car is with respect to fixed point, that is it is going with the speed of 60 meter per second, which is called as an absolute motion. And when we are defining the motion of the same car but with reference to some another moving, that is the motion of car A is 60 meter per second relative to the motion of car B, then in that case this type of motion is called as a relative motion, the motion described with reference to some moving object. Another type of motions are plane, that is 2D, and 3-dimensional, that is 3D motion. If the motion occurs in one plane only, it is called as a 2D motion, and if the motion occurs in more than one plane, then it is called as a 3D motion. Like the same example, a car is moving on a road, then that type of motion is in the one plane, which is called as a 2D motion. But if a aeroplane is moving in the sky, then that will be defined or will be in more than one plane, so it is called as a 3-dimensional motion, or the motion of parachute, motion of satellite, those are we can define it as a 3D motions. Next is constrained and unconstrained motion. When the motion is restricted or confined to a specific path, that type of motion is called as a constrained motion, and without such a restrictions is called as an unconstrained motion. It means whenever the path is also defined or the motion is described with respect to a fixed path, that we call it as a constraint, and when there is no any such type of restrictions, then it is called as an unconstrained motion. The next is rectilinear motion. If the motion occurs in a straight line, then that type of motion is called as an rectilinear motion. This is a very much of important type of motion, that is nothing but the rectilinear motion. So whenever a motion of any object is described in a straight line or it occurs in a straight line, then it is called as a rectilinear type of motion, like motion of car, motion of train, motion of vehicle, All these type of motions are, we called it as a rectilinear motion when they are traveling along a straight line path. Next type of classification is curvilinear motion. Whenever the motion is along a curved path, either plane or 3D, then it is called as a curvilinear motion. Like whenever any object is moving along a curved path, for example, if a car is moving on a road and suddenly there will be a turn, then in that turning point or the turning portion or the curve portion, when the car is traveling, that type of motion we called it as its curvilinear motion, and when it is traveling along a straight line, that we called it as a rectilinear motion. Now whenever we want to study the analysis of object with respect to moving condition, then in that case there are few important terms that we should know. Like the first term is position. When a particle is moving along a straight line, it will occupy a certain position with reference to a fixed point, usually referred as a origin. For example, if I am considering a particle is kept at point A and now it is moving from A to point B, then whenever I am describing or whenever a particle is moving and occupy a certain position with reference to fixed point, means with respect to point A, now the particle will occupy the position at point B. So that we called it as a position of the particle with respect to the fixed point, or that point we called it as a origin. Means from start, that is from origin, now it is occupying at the B position, or means from origin, that is point A, now the particle will occupy the new position, that is at point B. Next term is displacement. The shortest distance between the initial and final position of a particle during the motion is called as a displacement. Like whenever, as I described right now, that whenever the particle is moving from one point to the another point here, so this starting point we refer it as a origin, and now this will be the new position of the particle. So the shortest distance between these 2 points is called as a displacement. Now this displacement can be positive or it can be negative based on the change in position. For example, here the particle is moving in ahead direction, so here the displacement is in positive x direction. Now if it is moving in backward direction and now this is a new position, then in that case this displacement in backward or in the opposite to positive x is the negative displacement. And one more thing, now considering this figure, now the particle is at point A and it will be traveling a distance of 100, then take a turn and moving in the backward direction with a distance of 60 mm, and now this is a new position at point B of the particle. So in that case the displacement is the shortest distance between these two particles, means the difference between point A and point B is called as a displacement. So this difference or distance between A to B is called as a displacement, which is denoted by a symbol S and determined as this 100 minus this 60, which is equals to 40 mm. Like here in the forward direction positive 100, then in the backward direction minus 60. So the difference will be, or the displacement is equals to 40 mm. Now next term is distance travelled. It is a total path covered by the particle during the time interval. Now there are many times the students may get confused in these two terms, the displacement and the distance travelled. Always remember, displacement is the change in position of a particle, means from first point up to the last point, whatever the difference that or change in position, that we called it as a displacement. And distance travel means from A to B, whatever the path travel by that particle is called as a distance traveled. For this, we can take an example of crossing the road. Now, if a person wants to cross a road from point A or from one side to another side, if the person is standing over here and he want to cross the road and goes to this new point, then initial position and the final position, the distance between these 2 points is nothing but the displacement. But whenever he starts traveling, a person move ahead, but sometimes a car comes, then he will move back, sometime again move ahead, again come back for a distance, and then again move ahead. So likewise, whatever the motion to and fro, whatever the distance he is traveling, that we called it as a distance travel. Like in the earlier case, the particle is moving from A to B. Now the displacement is the change in position of A to B is 40, as we have seen over here. But now the distance traveled is determined as initially it is traveling 100 mm in the forward direction, then again it is traveling 60 mm in the back direction. So 100 plus this 60, total distance traveled is equals to 160 mm, and the displacement is 100 minus 60 equals to 40 mm. Always remember, displacement and distance traveled, these two are the two different things. It may be same, but it is not always same. Sometimes if directly road is get crossed, then in that case distance traveled and displacement both will be same. But if we are moving to and fro, then in that case distance travel is different and displacement is different. Then the next term is instantaneous velocity. The rate of change of displacement with respect to the time interval dt is called as an velocity. All of you are knowing velocity is equals to distance upon time. The distance traveled in a particular time interval, that will define us the velocity. That is nothing but the rate of change of displacement with respect to time interval is called as an velocity. The unit of velocity is equals to meter per second, or it is kilometer per hour. Then instantaneous acceleration. The rate of change of velocity with respect to time interval dt is called as acceleration. So rate of change of velocity with respect to time is called as an acceleration. So unit of acceleration is meter per second square. Now here we know v is equals to dx by dt, so this will become a is also equals to d square x by dt square, and unit is meter per second square. So like this, these are the few important terms which are used in analysis of any object whenever it is in motion. Now in the next videos we are studying the different type of motions. Also we are solving some of the problems based on the analysis of those type of bodies. So thank you.